In this video, we're going to talk about a strategy to use to meditate with nootropics. If you are taking nootropics and trying to meditate and it isn't working, there is a reason why. I run into this all the time and I've mastered it and I want to talk about it.
Cortex is the productivity stack. This is the stack you want to take for total mental energy, total mental dominance, total motivation, verbal fluency, focus, and the drive to get work done. Get the Cortex Nootropic stack at livecortex.com. Feel what it feels like to fire on all cylinders.
That is the Cortex stack. Buy that thing at livecortex.com right now. And through this week, guys, the special still is on where you can get it for $24.99. It's $29.99 on the site, but if you use the coupon code 5, it takes it down to $24.99. We've got 3 digital guides that I want to pitch you quickly. They are a stack list, essentially, of very advanced nootropic stacks. So if you don't want to spend a year or 2 years or 5 trying to figure out which stacks work best for you, I've got them all laid out in these stacks. New Pet Pro stack list, or these guides rather, Smarter, Better, Faster, and the Racetam Guide. They are pro nootropics digital guides. Get them at livecortex.com. Lastly, we do Nootropics Consulting. It's a 40-minute call with me. 15 additional email correspondence. It's very worth it. We consult everyone from Fortune 500 executives to moms in Canada that need extra energy using nootropics. Get all of that stuff at livecortex.com. Okay, so in the past, we have talked about strategies of using ashwagandha and aniracetam and uridine monophosphate and CDP choline and Alcar as nootropics to take to help you to induce meditation, basically to make the brain able to, when you sit down to do meditation, to get into that state. You know, the state that I typically try to target when I'm meditating or attempting to meditate is really the state where I'm engaging attention, like I'm actually doing attention, but I'm not paying attention to anything. I'm just activating the brain state that sort of underlies attention. Like I'm just keeping everything straight. Any other deviation, deviation of attention that tries to come in, like thoughts and anxiety and worries, I just stop them. Right, it takes a while, it takes getting good at. You also have to have your underlying anxiety under control. Like if you've got some physiological anxiety process that's happening in the meantime, it's going to be much more difficult for you to consciously control your attention, right? And control your brain. But that's the state that I'm really targeting, just solid attention. And once I get to that place where I've calmed down most of the things that are out of my control, then I can really compound. Then like all this magic happens in my brain where things start to feel better. I start to respond to stress better. I start to feel optimistic and a lot more positive about things. I get excited about things. It actually gives me a zest and motivation for life. Things are more interesting when I meditate regularly, okay? And that is just super cool. It's one of my favorite things. It is by far the best nootropic, there is, combined with coffee and nootropics. Okay, so, the thing is though, is that when you're taking nootropics and then you go try to meditate, some people run into this, the problem where they are, essentially their brains are moving too fast to meditate. The nootropics might be sort of counterproductive or, counter to what they're trying to do insofar as clearing everything out and getting themselves on this nice, good, solid, calm level. And the reason for that is, number one, you're probably using the wrong nootropics. You might be using something that truly cranks up like alertness base, fight or flight neurotransmitters, which is going to be harder for you to meditate, something like L-tyrosine. Tyrosine is probably not the best nootropic to take while meditating, right? Because it cranks up epinephrine and norepinephrine. Those are the things your body fires off when you're running from a guy with a shotgun, and you're just like in total fight or flight mode. So that's hard to meditate, giving that neurological state. So that's number one. You're probably taking the wrong nootropics. You want to shoot for nootropics that really facilitate attention. And so that might be Noopept. It would absolutely be uridine monophosphate. It would absolutely be something like acetyl L-carnitine, something like CDP choline. For racetams, we'd want to shoot for oxiracetam, phenylpiracetam, or fasoracetam, particularly fasoracetam because of how it calms the brain down. That's actually a great meditation nootropic compound. And then in terms of herbs, you want to look at things like L-theanine, ashwagandha, and rhodiola rosea. Okay, and it doesn't matter about the breakdown of solidrosides on rhodiola. You're still going to get a relatively good, positive, mood-benefiting effect from rhodiola that'll help meditation. But the other major thing you have to do, if you really want to take nootropics, those nootropics, and maybe others that you come to learn work well, and actually get in a meditative state, is you need to give yourself 3 or 4 days, okay, of meditating already, so that you sort of oriented your brain, you got a head start and oriented your brain toward much faster being able to get into that meditative state, so that when you sit down to meditate while on nootropics, you're sort of already in the zone. Okay, let me just explain or compare it to exercise. Everybody knows that when they start lifting weights again, or they start running, it takes sometimes a week, 2 weeks, sometimes even a month to fully get conditioned, right? You get conditioned, that means your cardiovascular system can handle the workout more. It's more inclined to be okay with it. It's more inclined to not totally make you feel like you're dying. You get conditioned. You have warmed up. I've taken many times, like I've been a runner for 10, 11 years or something. Like since I joined the United States military, I was a runner. That was, I joined the military in 2005, right? So it's been quite some time. And so, I've been running for, that was like 12, 13 years or something, 14 years. But I've taken time off running for one reason or another, and getting back into it. It normally took me about a month to get back on my old conditioning, sometimes more. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. The same thing applies for meditation. But typically, if you've been meditating for a while, it takes like 2 to 4 days to get back in. To when you sit down to meditate, it is easier to get in. It is easier to stop the thoughts, and it's easier to start going in. And in fact, once you get to that point, you actually don't require much long time to meditate. Like I only require 5 minutes. I'd set a timer on my iPhone, and I can literally get in. If I've been meditating for the past 2 to 4 days, every day, in the morning, I can get in within 2 minutes. 2-3 minutes, I'm in, and I'm like, all right, now I'm in this zone. Hold this good attention zone where nothing else is going on, and that's where all the benefits start to compound, okay? And if you're taking nootropics on top of that, that's where you can really, really get benefits that just go beyond, obviously, the state of meditating, and then sort of take place within the rest of the hours of the day, okay? So you want to make sure you've got 2 to 4 days of meditating already, in the morning or whenever you meditate, to get your brain primed. You have to be primed. If you haven't meditated in 2 months, and then you take some nootropics and you go, maybe this will help me meditate, it's probably not going to work all that great for you, because you're gonna need that time to condition. You got to recondition. You got to recondition the brain. And I know this. I'm not, this isn't some bullshit. Like there really is a conditioned state, that you get in once you have meditated for a couple days. You do it for a couple days. Like, it's easier to get in. Those of you who meditate, you know what I mean. It's easier to get in. Okay, it's easier to stop the thoughts. It's easier to get things flowing, right? To stop, but to get your attention, going. It's easier to get that focused, sort of tunnel focus state. It's easier to get your whole brain synchrony going. Meditation is one of the most interesting things on the planet to me. It was what I did before I took nootropics, which got me into nootropics because of how it affected my brain and all the subsequent cognitive science books I read in excitement in response to it, okay? So that's my strategy. Meditation takes conditioning. I hope that makes sense. Thanks for watching.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching the video. Thanks for being with me. Ryan Michael Balla here. Check it out. These 4 are our powerful nootropic products. So start from the top. You're going to want to hear this. Number 1, the Cortex Stack. That is our powerful pre-made stack. This is the stack you want to take if you want to get work done. Let me just be serious with you. I created that stack running a company 18 hours a day to get my brain to have massive verbal fluency, total motivation, right? Total overall mental fluidity, lots of mental energy, lots of drive to work. I mean, entrepreneurs need brain performance. We created that stack for people that really, really need brain performance and ain't messing around. The Cortex Stack, get it at livecortex.com. You will love that stack. Those digital guides, we'll start from the Racetam God Guide. That guide is a digital stack list of some of the most highly effective brain state specific Racetam stacks on the planet. I mean, basically you're getting oxiracetam, piracetam, aniracetam, phenylpiracetam, coliracetam, fasiracetam, nefiracetam, pramiracetam stacks, very powerful stacks of all those racetams laid out in that guide. The New Pep Pro Stack List is a giant list of sublingual, oral, and nasal new pep stack. So we've got just myriads of lists of very specific, very surgical new pep stacks that are highly effective, time tested. I mean, you take one of those stacks, your brain turns on, you will thank me. That thing is digital too. These are all digital, downloaded at livecortex.com. And then lastly, Smarter, Better, Faster is a digital guide that teaches anybody that's within the 1 to 2 year range of taking nootropics, how to take nootropics, how to think about taking nootropics, how to use nootropics surgically to really get optimal brain performance, to totally dominate the realm of nootropics. It gives you very many stacks, my favorite stacks, everything from modafinil, caffeine, theanine protocols to aniracetam, microdosing protocols to uridine, ALA, Alcar, choline stacks to basically everything else in between them. If you want the most powerful stacks on the planet, you want my personal stacks and my personal philosophy on taking nootropics, get the Smarter, Better, Faster guide. Get all these guides. Get all of this good nootropic stuff at livecortex.com. We make elite level nootropic products for elite level nootropic players. Are you one of them? Let's find out. livecortex.com. Make it happen. Thanks for being with me.